Welcome, everyone, to the Masters Cup. We are here in Santa Cruz, California at the famous De La Viega disc golf course in round 2 of the FPO coverage. I'm Sarah Hokum here with Zoe Andike to call the action.
Hey everybody, and looking at our leaderboard after round 1, we've got Paige at 3 down, Katrina Allen 2 down, Haley King 1 down, and Juliana Korver at even. Jumping right into hole 1, we have a par 3. It's 345 feet. Pretty good elevation gain as we start this tournament trekking up the hill. Used to be the final 4 finishing holes, and now it's our starting holes for the Santa Cruz Masters Cup.
Bit of a daunting first hole. Plays way uphill. Nobody got this birdie yesterday. Paige starting us off with a Zeus.
Looking like a little bit of an early release there, but should be an open view to the basket.
Katrina following it up with a D2.
And center cut. Can't ask for too much more out of your first drive of the entire tournament day.
Haley also going Zeus. Too low, too flat. Is she stuck in that tree?
I'm not sure it came out. Hopefully. We're going to have to look once the camera view gives us a chance. Juliana Korver rounding out the card here.
Throwing her Roadrunner, getting that full distance.
And a little bit of forward roll. She's in great position, center cut. Oh, Haley did come down, it looks like.
Really technical upshot, though. Pushing it a little right. That's going to be a really tough putt. There is a low ceiling in front of her.
Yeah. JK just putting it up there for the easy tap-in par. And just a nice stress-free upshot there for Katrina Allen, right below the basket. Paige, yeah, jump putting it.
Yeah, needs to be really careful on that side hill.
No, please sit down.
So easy for that to happen on that approach when you've got just the side hill in front of you. You got to match that Anheuser angle. Haley trying to save a par.
And as you can see, you were right, that low obstructed ceiling causes her some frustration. Paige in for the par. That was an interesting roll for De La. It almost wrapped all the way around the basket and wasn't that far away.
Right? That doesn't usually happen out here.
Yep.
Didn't see too many De Las yesterday.
Might see some today, though.
She's probably just waiting for the proper moment to be rude and roll away.
And a couple of pars, a bogey for Haley King there.
She, as in the course, De La. I don't know why we call her a she, but she is super intimidating when it comes to the rollaway greens, and she likes to rear her ugly teeth at the worst possible times.
She is the mother course. Moving on to hole 2. It's a par 3, 276 feet. Again, a major elevation gain here. It's playing much more like 350, sub 400 for players. Super important to pick your line, whether it be the straight route or the right side flip up hyzer. What you got to do as a player is plan on matching the angle of the hill for your landing. It's so easy to get a rollaway on this shot.
Paige up first. Looking like she's changed her gameplay to a stalker. And again, hits an early tree and is not in position for birdie. Cat with the X3.
Also hitting a tree, but landing safely in the fairway.
Juliana with that Roadrunner again. Great shot in position.
Gotta love center cut.
Haley with the Onyx. Turns it over a little too much. I hope that stayed up at the top of the hill. Yeah, it sure did. Good.
That was a really friendly kind of tree hit there. Looking like a pretty decent upshot.
Kat showing her versatility.
Absolutely. Sidearm play under the bucket.
That feels so good. Paige in recovery mode. Leaving it well, no, I thought that was a little left, but that was pretty good. She'll have an easy putt.
Yep.
Juliana with the AVR X3.
Nice and easy. Looking like she's in that comfort putting zone in the circle.
Haley pitching up the par shot, leaving herself a short putt for bogey. Juliana dialed in on hole 2.
Just carding a couple of pars always feels good on these major uphill holes.
It feels like these first 4, or even these first 6, are really intimidating pars, and there's not much access to birdies unless you're really getting a big pump.
Absolutely. I've heard multiple players throughout the weekend talking about getting through the Hill Series, even par is their goal.
And I would consider holes 4 and 5, even though they're not on the hill per se, are just really difficult par 3s.
Absolutely. Tap in for par for Kat there.
So Haley going double or single bogey, 2 in a row here to start. I'm hoping she can find her tee shots and get herself some pars on these next couple. Juliana with a beautiful putt.
Moving on to hole 3. It is the absolute top of the hill. We have got a par 3, 354 feet. And although it doesn't look that far, it certainly plays all of 354 feet. We've got danger on the right, danger on the left. The player needs to know which disc, which speed that they can just pipe straight up the fairway, trying to get themselves a putt. There's always typically a little bit of headwind or right to left wind here as well. Kind of hanging it out right there for Paige Pierce.
She made a similar error yesterday.
Hopefully got that similar safe landing.
Kat, yeah, with the H3V2.
Right up the middle.
Yeah, she'll have a nice long putt. Juliana with the more conservative play, going with the Atlas, but she also turned it over just a little bit and will have a long approach. Haley going stalker. It seems that there is a magnet on that right side of the fairway.
Well, I was going to mention that a lot of times players are trying to use the right side of the fairway so that they can get a little bit of hyzer out, but really easily turning it over.
And that right side pinches a bit, and you're slightly uphill off the tee, so it plays to a sidearm flex a little more than a backhand. But players are just going to try to flex it under those trees to get that birdie look, and so far 3 out of 4 of them did not.
Haley King leaving not too much work for her par. And Kat now focused on trying to card the birdie. Giving it a good attempt and just a little bit right. First jump putt of the day. Just getting going here on the putting, hole 3. I love watching JK's rhythm to her putting routine. She really is mindful to be slow and take her time and execute. Not much work here for Paige. Carding the bogey, excuse me.
Haley with the par, and Kat will tap out this par as well. So nobody on the lead card got this one, but we did have a few ladies on some of the other cards. Kona Panis, Ella Hansen, and Lindsay Fish.
Awesome.
Got this birdie on the day. It actually played as the 18th difficulty. So, not that difficult, but even though there weren't a lot of birdies, there weren't very many bogeys either. Great putt by JK, sneaking in that left side.
And here we are at the infamous top of the world. Look at that view over the Santa Cruz Bay right there. We've got a par 3 straight downhill, 516 feet. There is always wind, and I believe that we had a pretty significant amount of headwind today. And you know, there's so many options. Sidearm out over the OB road behind the basket. We've got the righty backhand either inside or around the dead tree. Interesting to see what players choose to throw, whether it's a max distance driver or a slower speed.
Cat going with the slower speed M2. Getting caught up in that one of those last trees. Looks like he threw it just a little bit low. Juliana with the T-Bird 3, popping it out nice and flat. That fade looks really good.
Really reading the wind well here, and the disc stables out safely for a bid. That's absolutely what she wants. And Haley King also picking that was a great height, plenty of power.
She's throwing a force here.
Oh, yeah.
Coming back perfectly.
Inside the circle, dream come true. Loving that shot. Paige keeping it low, putting a little bit of hyzer angle. Was it low enough, though? It seemed pretty inside. No. And the spotter running, as you can see, to indicate the red flag OB. Kat with the upshot here. Again, showing her versatile skills with the sidearm and parking it pretty close to the basket.
JK with a putt for 2.
Oh, drawing some metal, but not quite left enough. It was on the right side of the basket. Paige for her 3 attempt. Oh, gave it plenty of gusto. Just a little high there.
Haley with the deuce.
That's a happy birdie. Taking one of those strokes back from De La and doing it on top of the world sure feels good.
And she was the only one to get this one today.
Wow. Gotta feel good about that. Kat's carding her 3 and just getting out of town here. And the bogey for Paige Pierce as we move on to the traditional hole 1, but now tournament hole 5.
Take a look at Haley throwing that force. Full extension.
I love that camera view. And the slow motion really gives you a chance to connect with her form.
When I walk up to the tee, I have these game plans. I think I'm gonna land in these same areas every single time, but you never know. Having the Bushnell rangefinder, no matter where I land, gives me that extra level of confidence.
I started playing disc golf with my family when I was 8 years old. When I was 16, I got my first job as a cook at a bowling alley, and that's when I made my first batch of beef jerky. As I got better at throwing, I also got better at making beef jerky. Everyone told me they loved my jerky. After 15 years of making my beef jerky as a hobby, I decided to make it available to everyone. Double G Craft Jerky. Give it a try. You're gonna love it.
We're back here with hole 5. It's a par 3, 315 feet. Decent elevation gain. It's kind of a wide open fairway until you get to the last third of it, and then you've got levels of, I would say, tiered ground, so that you might get a catch or roll away if you hit some of those railroad ties, or you might just skip up and be saved by those. And there's tons of trees, the down log that gets in the way, all kinds of stuff, fast skippy greens. Let's see what happens here.
Haley with the Zeus.
Keeping it nice and low. Oh, There's that railroad tie kind of interception there of the shot.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you hit those. You never quite know what's going to happen.
Cat keeping it pretty low as well. Getting that crazy action, some of that rollaway stuff I was talking about.
But a pretty open look. JK working that Roadrunner. Also right by that first level.
And Paige Pierce here rounding out the card. Also keeping it pretty low out of the wind. A little bit surprised to see all 4 players keeping it that low, but everybody's in decent contention.
Oh,
man.
Man, it seemed like she was looking like somebody distracted her there.
I saw that.
Cat also missing left. That's a long putt.
Also obstructed.
JK throwing a patent pending up and around the railroad ties.
Great shot just above the basket in the confidence circle.
Haley with the breaker.
She's got to keep that one just low enough and just high enough and does a great job.
Paige in recovery mode.
You can see she's
throwing it well past the basket, leaving herself a death putt.
Yep.
Cat with an awkward stance uphill. This is a really tough putt. Oh man, hits those branches. She has another putt to contend with, and a tailwind. It's going to push it up.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, to save the double bogey, that was definitely a clutch and important putt right there.
Man, sometimes these holes just get away from you. Paige taking a knee to try to level out that putt a little.
And it's working. She cards her bogey, ready to move on to the next hole. I think we have Haley up next. Or no, looks like JK is going to go first.
Also a little bit downhill. But I imagine with her little spin putt, this is probably a great look for her.
You can see the flag on top of the basket signifying a good headwind for her to be putting downhill into. No problem. Taking the par here feels, I mean, I'm always saying it. Pars are gold. Pars on this hole. Great.
Especially these first 6. They can just get away from you. Haley with the easy 3. JK showing us how it's done.
Love those slow-mo replays there. All right, moving on to hole 6, par 3. 270 feet that feels like a mile away up this insane elevation gain. You can't see the basket at all. You've got to get yourself, as you can see with the camera angle, fly over here, halfway up the fairway before you're turning left. Okay, and then you're going to want to actually skip as far left as possible in order to give yourself a straight shot at the basket. Otherwise, you're bringing that tree on the right into contention that's sitting in circle 2. And as you can see, the basket is located on a death cliff there. Players have to be very smart when approaching this basket.
Haley pushing a little bit long with that trickle down. That'll be a tough approach with that tree in the way at circle's edge. JK with the Roadrunner. Also up a little high.
Yeah, she got some good ground action there for how low she released it, though, I think. And coming off that bogey, you can see Paige very focused, also letting it go a little bit straighter than what she had planned, bringing that tree into play. Cat
with a D2 comes in a little bit early, but that's a pretty good position with her sidearm to get to the pin. Oh, that needs to sit. That needs to
sit down.
Hit the pole. Curl. Do something. Do something cool. Okay, she's got a putt. It's the low ceiling, however. Be tough with her push putt.
Pretty tough spot to be, but at least she didn't go down the hill.
JK calling for it to sit. She'll be a little closer than Kat and open for a putt.
Nice easy sidearm there.
That was the most nonchalant shot.
I love it. Taking a knee, trying to get under those branches for Paige Pierce, sliding it up to the basket. She doesn't want any stress here.
Kat to save her par.
Sit.
Oh, no. Oh, man, this is a little too early for some day laws.
You'll notice Kat didn't move her mini. She's choosing to take the stroke penalty and re-putt this shot. Fully confident.
Player B making good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's going to cost her an extra stroke. And also, side note, you can actually move your mini. If you picked up your mini, that doesn't mean that you can't go put it back. It just depends on the card giving you the look of giving you the lie where you all think it was. It's not like chess where once you pick up the mini,
it's final.
You can't put it back down.
I do like that rule. Group consensus on the prior spot works out to the player's advantage in difficult situations.
And hopefully one of the many awesome spotters out there went and grabbed that for her.
Yeah. Sheer determination in the huck face here for Paige Pierce. Loving these slow-mo camera angles from Central Coast. And we are on to hole 7. It's a par 3, 354 feet. Downhill, you'll see a lot of players choosing slower speed fairways or even mid-range shots here. The whole goal here is just piping it straight up the fairway. You can see the green is very protected by quite a few trees, so just looking for your entry point, like which tree gap will you go in. There is always a little bit of right to left, left to right, or headwind here. It's different on the day.
Haley up first.
Oh, tough to see.
Turned it over a little bit. Looks at the edge or the middle of circle 2 with a lot of trees to contend with to get to the pin. JK with the Atlas made a similar play yesterday, turning it over just a little bit. And she'll be right, similar to Haley, just a little closer.
Yeah, she snuck through a little bit, but that headwind is definitely magnetizing these discs right. Paige noticing and trying to fight that wind. Coming in hot, basket.
Paige with some great tree and ground play, giving her a look for birdie. Kat with an M2. Looking for it to continue straight and get that straight. Oh, yeah. Get a straight flare.
Anytime you hit that tree, you're in contention for the birdie putt.
Not a lot Haley could do from there. JK looks like she has a long look.
There's one of those framed up putts. Just make the gap and you're in. Almost.
Oh, good try. Kat also with a difficult putt. Man, she's been in a couple awkward situations already today.
Paige with the birdie bid and taking it home. She needed that birdie. This is potentially what's going to get her on that birdie train she's looking for.
Haley cleaning up the par. Solid stroke.
No one likes to see that. Just a little bit quick.
This is not the way Katrina wanted to start. Her stroke is looking a little bit, timing looks a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
And Dion Carey also getting this birdie along with Paige.
The only two in the field on the day.
De La does not give away birdies.
You must earn them. All right, here's hole 8, par 3, 390 feet. No view of the basket, but quite a few things to deal with here. Got a little elevation gain before elevation drop. Tons of trees in the middle of the fairway. Low ceiling or high ceiling is the player's choice. Hyzer route, or are you looking for the lucky straight route? And when I say hyzer route for the FPO field, I'm talking about straight and trying to play the left side. Although we do sometimes see, especially in the MPO field, the huge high right side. Tricky green, everything has got a low ceiling and a fast skippy. The disc can skip.
Paige with a Raptor. She got 2 metered on this yesterday, but today, nope, it came down.
The trees let her out. Haley choosing that higher route. Trying to get over the trees and land left. Got clipped at just the end of the shot, but still on the left side.
That looked like her zone, but I feel like nobody can throw a zone that far. Maybe Haley can.
Haley might be able to do that. JK playing that left side hyzer route that I was talking about. Clips a tree, though, and comes down earlier than planned. Katrina keeping it low and playing that hyzer left route. She's got all of it and then some. A little extra.
Oh, yes. Go.
De La giveth, and De La definitely
that should
taketh.
Be a pretty simple approach. JK messing with these trees and just splitting them. Pin high, easy putt. She knows. She knows what she did.
Look at that.
Flashing the multi-ring. Ooh, caught up a little bit. That'll leave her a tester. Paige playing the ground.
Skipping all the way up to the basket. No problem there. Easy up shot, please.
Ooh, that's also down the backside. She did not want to see that with the way she has been putting so far. Haley to save her par. Low ceiling. Tough with a push putt. Also Kat with a low ceiling, but makes good on it. There it is.
Feels good to get back on that par.
She has not had
train.
like a normal putt for, like 3 or 4 holes? All of them been straddle, obstructed, up or down a hill. JK also from a similar position.
Just barely moving forward, as you can see, putting her mini in front of that, maybe a foot, carding the bogey.
It never feels good.
And let's see. Yeah, I was going to say, Paige still has a putt to make here. A little tiny tap in, carding the par. Bogey here for Haley King.
Playing is the first difficulty of the course, and you can see why. And actually, only 32% of the field even got the par. So maybe this is a par 4 for the FPO division.
Very difficult hole nonetheless.
Passion is more than fiery emotion. It feeds the spark to start your day. It fuels your obsessions. It inspires your dreams. Passion challenges your fears, and it repeatedly bathes you in sweat until you are transformed into a new, better you. Disc golf isn't just your passion, it's ours too.
You've seen them in the hands of professionals, helping them compete at the highest level. Whale Sacks is a female-owned small business, handmade in the USA. We are dedicated to outstanding grip for all disc golfers.
We're back here with hole 9. It's a par 3, 393 feet. Mostly downhill, maybe just a couple of feet uphill before it descends. This is tricky. You can't see the basket from the tee pad like a lot of holes out here at De La. But the player is definitely just trying to release flat straight in the middle and hoping to choose a disc that will stay straight for them and get a little bit of ground play to get them up there for the putt. It is not that common to see a deuce on this hole.
Paige with the buzz. Yesterday she released a little early here too. Today she has a little bit more work to do. Kat with the H3 V2. She's got enough turn, but she threw it a little bit low. She'll have 100 feet or so on a tricky downhill approach. Haley up. Looks like she's throwing a mid.
And clips a little bit of those trees on the right-hand side. JK with that Roadrunner.
Oh!
Just a little bit of early release. This is quite a long approach.
This is really tough to get this by the basket. She needs it to filter.
And it filters and then some.
And there is a drop-off back there that I think she's on the edge of it, but you get a little bit too much heat on that approach and it can pick up and roll down into Poison Oakland.
And slow down disc. As you can well, the camera angle, it makes it hard to tell how much elevation is right there at the basket, but it sure does drop off pretty quick.
Haley with a little touchy approach through that right side gap, leaving a pretty good little putt. Mm-hmm. Very makeable.
Pretty good shot. Kat just hoping nice and easy here, looking for the par.
Playing the ground right next to the pin. Juliana to save her par.
Stay up.
Oh, no.
Sit down.
No.
Okay.
Whew.
Not too bad. Still a little bit of a putt left.
Paige also, for her par, gets it in.
Makes it. Feels good to card the 3 here. As I mentioned, birdies are rare on hole 9.
Juliana for bogey.
Almost the
Using
same
the
putt.
elbow English.
Leaning it in. Like to see that.
It's like she's breakdancing over there behind her behind her putt.
She's having the most fun. A little high, but the basket says, all right, I accept. And Kat just tapping in. Stress-free par here. Well-played fairway.
So no birdies on the lead card, but we did see Stacy Ronsley and Lindsay Fish getting the birdie on the other cards.
Wow, Lindsay Fish is getting a bunch of these difficult birdies. Shout out to Fish. All right. And hole 10 here is a par 3. It's 348 feet, all downhill. Kind of a tightly wooded fairway, as you can see on the right and the left. Tons of tree foliage. We've got OB Road lining the entire left side of the fairway. There's also stumps that kind of are those logs that are just old and rotten are there to save you, but tons of gaps, and this is really hard skippy ground. You can flare skip out of bounds super easy. Want to try to choose something, keep it low, and penetrate straight down the fairway.
Paige needed a little more turn on that zone, but gets the skip up for a edge of the circle putt.
Decent ground play there.
Kat turning her M2 over just a bit. Looks like she was a little slip on the tee.
I was just going to say, it looked like there was a little slide. Haley put it up in the air a little higher than maybe she wanted, but she's getting good ground play here, leaving her a decent upshot.
And Juliana with the leopard. Ooh, this looks good.
I do love
this
that.
This looks perfect.
Great height, great ground play.
15-footer.
Gotta love that.
Kat with a long recovery shot. Needs it to get left.
Just up to those trees. I think that's basket height, level ground.
Whew, sit. All right, road is right there, so any of those approaches could pick up and roll into it, but Haley is safe for an easy putt.
Looks like Paige is putting it straight downhill at the basket here, probably just outside of the circle or just
outside. And man, that's so downhill that she's going to have a long comebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Also dealing with some road distractions. Oh,
just high for JK there. Not quite able to card the birdie. Paige's comebacker puts her in the basket.
The staff has done a really good job of keeping the road mostly clear, but there are always there's people that live back in this neighborhood behind the course, so they always have to drive through here. Oh no, Kat. She's on that little struggle bus in this first part. Haley making good on the par.
And tapping in her bogey, unfortunately for Katrina Allen.
These next few holes all play kind of along the road, so it is sometimes difficult to keep the distractions to a minimum. Players are going to have to take their time and be patient.
There's slow-mo on this one. I wonder if we can see the slip at all. A little bit on the front leg.
Yeah, it did look like it came out from under her a little bit as
She's
she looks
looking
down.
yeah.
Good call, Zoe.
All right, hole 11. It's not that far. It's 215 feet, par 3. You can't see it, but you definitely want to get in there for the putt on this one. Although it's not that far away, we've got an insanely tricky hill, like you can see from this view, right beside the basket. So you can't overcook it or turn it over too far to the right. However, you don't want to go straight or left. Just bending it with the fairway. Most players are choosing a slower speed disc here.
Paige going with the fierce. She will be well outside the circle with a death putt. Haley with the breaker.
Oh,
Early
no.
hit and a roll into Poison Oakland.
Yeah, that is...
She may want to re-tee.
It's definitely a decent option here. It's a tough shot to come back.
Juliana looking beautiful shot.
Play in the ground.
Hit that one little blocker tree, leaving her at a 25 footer. Katrina, beautiful work in that M2 or PA1 actually, and PA1. Yep.
And that's the kind of shot you want to have from the tee after a bogey. She's got herself in contention for the birdie.
Haley with a Hail Mary. Wait, her name is Haley, not Hail Mary.
Tough.
And now she is still working her way out, and that looked exactly like the last shot she threw.
The re-tee may have been a better option here. It's just so hard to get out of that canyon.
Wow.
Run it in, girl.
Any miss on that from that distance, and she is probably rolling away. So, wow, what
Pure confident
shot.
putt.
Haley is still in trouble, but she has now gotten herself a easy putt for bogey.
For the birdie. And she gets it this time, not letting it slip away. Great play, JK. A little fast there again, looking for that putting stroke rhythm and routine for Katrina. So solid yesterday, but maybe a little frazzled today, just kind of looking to get back in her groove.
Haley with the unfortunate double on a hole that is playing as one of the easiest on the course. Second easiest hole, 41% of the field got that birdie.
Wow. This putt is just incredible. I love that slow-mo. Pure death in the face, no problem. Moving on to hole 12, par 3, 320 feet, no view of the basket. There's a mandatory tree on the left that we've just passed. If the player crosses outside of the mando, they must take the drop zone just to the right of that tree. This is a new pin position for this hole. Locals have done quite a bit of work to carve out and clean up this a little bit further in distance and right-hand position. It's not too skippy, slidey like Danger Hill here on the green. It's just a matter of getting around the corner and keeping in the middle of the fairway.
Paige with a buzz. She hit a tree yesterday. Looks like she's made a good correction, but she is in the old tee land, so there is some wall of trees that could block her approach.
Be a tricky approach. Oh no, that Mando missed like I was talking about. Unfortunate miss there for JK.
Cat with an M4. Oh, also inside.
Just a little too
Made the
inside.
Mando, but not an easy shot to get the par from that position.
And Haley's coming back strong.
Oh, no. That is she's been getting kicked down into that hill like way too many times in the last two holes.
Dang.
JK getting also an unfavorable kick left away from the basket.
Leaving a lot of work there.
I can sense a little frustration in Kat's approach.
The entire card here has gotten some crazy luck on these last couple of holes.
JK from far left
Wow, that was a great shot. I think that she was just about 120 feet from the pin there. She made short work of it.
Haley pitching up, and Paige blocked. Is she going through
I can't
the trees?
even see the basket here,
I think
but
she found a hole.
she did. Just a little hyzer upshot putt there.
But leaving herself some work on the backside. Great putt. Nice par.
Staying solid and maintaining the top of the tee box. JK's just kind of wanting to tap that double bogey in and just get away from hole 12.
Katrina also with the single bogey. And Haley with an easy par.
That upshot was incredible for Haley from where she was at.
Playing as the 8th most difficult hole. We did have a few birdies on it today. Maria Oliva, Camille Square, and Cynthia Ricciardi making good on the birdie.
Awesome.
Paige with her par comebacker. I bet she wishes it was in the old position.
Most definitely.
Thanks for joining us. We will be right back with the second half. I'm Sarah, here with Zoe with Central Coast Disc Golf.